One day, you will sit quietly with your memories, and they will ask you a dangerous question. Why didn't you try when you could? Not why you failed, not why you fell, but why you chose comfort over courage. Because excuses don't hurt today. They feel safe, they feel logical, they feel justified. But time is honest, and time turns every weak excuse into a regret that screams in silence. We all carry dreams inside us, fragile, hopeful, impatient dreams, but most of them don't die because life is cruel. They die because we delay, because we doubt, because we wait for perfect conditions that never arrive. We tell ourselves stories to feel better. Not now, maybe later, I'm not ready, it's not my time. But every excuse we protect today becomes a regret that haunts tomorrow. Life does not punish us for failing, it punishes us for never trying. This is not a speech about motivation, this is a mirror. Because strong people are not born fearless, they simply refuse to let excuses decide their future. Excuses feel comfortable. Regret never does. Excuses are like soft cushions placed carefully between you and responsibility, allowing you to rest while your dreams wait silently in the corner. They convince you that postponing action is wisdom and avoiding struggle is maturity. In the comfort of excuses, you feel protected from failure, judgment, and pain. They whisper that you deserve rest, that life is already hard, that tomorrow will be better. Slowly, excuses teach you to delay courage and reward hesitation. They make comfort feel like a smart decision instead of a dangerous habit. Over time, this comfort dulls your hunger for growth and trains your heart to settle for less than it truly desires. Regret does not arrive suddenly or dramatically. It grows quietly in moments of silence. It appears late at night when distractions fade and the mind begins to replay old choices. Regret reminds you of moments when courage knocked, but you did not answer. It does not argue with your logic or understand your reasons. It simply shows you the truth you tried to avoid, that you chose ease when effort was required. Regret is honest and unforgiving. It carries the weight of every ignored opportunity and every postponed dream. Many people believe regret comes from trying and failing, but that belief is comforting and incomplete. Failure may hurt, but it also teaches, strengthens, and prepares. Regret is born from never stepping forward at all. It comes from watching life pass while convincing yourself you will act later. Excuses erase possibilities before they even exist. They leave behind unanswered questions that echo louder with time and grow heavier as years pass. Comfort feels warm in the present moment, but it does not age well. What once felt safe slowly becomes suffocating. Excuses lose their softness and regret gains strength. It presses against your chest, reminding you again and again that you once had the power to choose differently. The pain of regret is realizing that comfort cost you the life you were capable of living. Fear loves excuses. Growth hates them. Fear is not loud, aggressive, or dramatic. It is quiet, intelligent, and patient. It does not stop you forcefully, but gently guides you toward delay. Fear speaks through excuses, telling you that you are not ready, that the timing is wrong, that you need more preparation. It presents itself as logic and concern, making hesitation feel responsible. Fear survives because excuses protect it from being challenged. As long as excuses exist, fear remains comfortable and powerful. Growth does not negotiate with comfort or wait for permission. It demands action before confidence and movement before clarity. Growth requires you to step forward while your hands shake and your heart doubts. It asks you to trust effort more than certainty. The moment you choose excuses, growth steps away, because growth only walks with those willing to face discomfort. Growth cannot exist where avoidance is celebrated. Every excuse you accept strengthens fear's voice. Slowly, fear stops sounding like fear and starts sounding like common sense. It becomes familiar, trusted, and unquestioned. Over time, this voice shapes your decisions and limits your actions. What once felt like caution becomes a habit of avoidance that controls your direction without you realizing it. Fear never disappears on its own. It only retreats when confronted. Growth begins the moment you act, while fear is still present. Strength is not the absence of fear, but the refusal to let fear decide. When excuses fall silent, courage finally speaks, and you realize you were stronger than fear all along. Waiting for the right time is the most dangerous excuse. The idea of the right time feels comforting because it removes pressure from the present moment. It convinces you that one day everything will align perfectly and action will feel easy. This belief allows you to delay responsibility without guilt. But life does not wait for perfection, and time does not slow down to prepare you. The right time is often fear wearing patience as a disguise. It keeps you waiting while life continues to move forward. Those who wait endlessly for ideal conditions often spend their lives watching others succeed with imperfect ones. The world rewards movement, not readiness. Clarity is not something you receive before action. It is something you earn through action. The right time is not discovered. It is created by choosing to begin. Progress belongs to those who start despite uncertainty. Waiting slowly drains passion and confidence. The longer you delay, the heavier your dreams become. What once excited you begins to feel distant and unrealistic. Self-doubt grows stronger with time. Time does not protect dreams. It quietly buries them under hesitation and fear until they no longer feel possible. Years later, the pain is not that life was difficult, but that you waited while life was happening. Regret whispers that you had enough time, you just didn't use it. The most painful realization is understanding that you were not waiting for the right moment, you were avoiding it. You were always the moment you were waiting for. Weak excuses teach you to betray your own potential. Every excuse you repeat becomes a lesson your mind absorbs. It teaches you that delaying is acceptable and quitting is understandable. Slowly, your standards begin to lower. Not because your potential disappeared, but because your belief in yourself weakened. You adjust your dreams to match your comfort zone instead of expanding yourself to meet your dreams. Breaking promises to yourself damages self-trust more than any external failure. When you repeatedly choose excuses, your mind learns not to take your goals seriously. You stop believing your own words. The inner voice that once dreamed boldly begins to speak cautiously, afraid of disappointment. Excuses train you to expect less from yourself. Your potential does not leave you, it waits patiently. It watches every choice you make between fear and courage, ease and effort. It remains silent as you settle for less, but it never forgets who you could have been. One day, it confronts you with a painful truth, that you were capable of becoming more, but you chose safety instead. The deepest regret is not public failure, but private betrayal. Becoming a smaller version of yourself is a silent loss that no one applauds or notices. Yet you feel it deeply. Every time you wonder what your life might have looked like if you had trusted yourself enough to try, discipline hurts for a moment. Regret hurts for a lifetime. Discipline demands effort when motivation disappears and excuses feel convincing. It asks you to show up tired, uncertain, and uncomfortable. Discipline requires consistency when no one is watching, and patience when results are slow. In the beginning, discipline feels heavy because it challenges your comfort, but its pain is temporary and meaningful. It pushes you forward instead of holding you back. Regret asks nothing in the present moment. It allows comfort, delay, and avoidance without resistance. It lets you feel safe today, but its cost arrives later, demanding emotional payment when the past can no longer be changed. Regret drains peace, confidence, and self-respect slowly and silently. It leaves behind questions with no answers. Short-term pain builds long-term strength. Discipline shapes character and creates pride. It proves to you that you can be trusted with your own dreams. Every disciplined action becomes evidence of resilience and self-respect. Discipline builds a future you can stand proudly in. Lifelong regret weakens the spirit. It replays moments you avoided and paths you never walked. Discipline builds possibility, while regret builds reminders of what you abandoned. The difference is simple. One hurts now and heals later. The other comforts now and wounds forever. In the end, one day, life will slow down enough for you to hear your own thoughts clearly. And in that silence, excuses will no longer protect you. Titles, age, circumstances, and past reasons will lose their power, leaving behind only the truth of what you chose and what you avoided. You will realize that life was never asking you to be perfect, only brave enough to begin. Strength was always within reach, waiting for your decision to move despite fear, despite doubt, despite discomfort. The moment you stop negotiating with excuses is the moment you start honoring the life you were given. Your future is not built by intentions, but by actions repeated when no one is watching. Every step you take today, no matter how small, weakens regret and strengthens purpose. You do not need permission, perfect timing, or complete confidence to move forward. You only need the courage to choose effort over ease, discipline over delay, and belief over fear. When excuses lose their voice, your potential finally rises, and the life you once imagined begins to recognize you.